Does Boeing have a bigger problem than solving one issue on one type of plane?
Oh, absolutely. It's a cultural issue. This has been going on for quite some time with Boeing. Depending on your perspective, they've either been unlucky or they've been sloppy. And their reliability, their integrity within the industry has been damaged not just by this, but obviously by the wider 737 MAX issue of a couple of years ago. There's still ongoing faults and licensing issues, and the company, quite frankly, is struggling. And it's a damaged operation at the moment.
I hear what you're saying, and it's very worrying, but let me just give the counter-argument. There was a piece, and you would have seen this, of course, John. Commercial aviation was safer in 2023 than in any previous year, according to, say, air safety experts. There was no major air passenger fatalities and crashes with major airlines and major passenger jets in 2023. It's still stunningly safe to get on getting on a Boeing or an Airbus, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. There is no safer form of transport. When you look at all the metrics, the miles flown, the lack of incidents, and the professionalism of people within the industry, and many of these things and issues are being spotted on a regular basis, and directives are being issued by both Boeing and Airbus around modifications that are required or checks that are required, and they take place very quietly in the background, and there's no issues. Of course, when you get an event like last week's, then suddenly the whole background changes, and everyone's got this as a story, and every airline is being asked to look at their aircraft and make sure that everything is trim and that the aircraft is airworthy.
John, let me just pick up on the information we know so far, that there's been loose hardware found, has been visible on some aircraft, according to Alaska Airlines. How is this possible when there's a contractor first up, there's Boeing, regulators poring over the aircraft, and of course maintenance crew? How is it possible no one spotted this before if it was so visible?
Absolutely, that's a key question that needs to be answered. Commercial pressures are clearly on every part of the supply chain at the moment. The aviation industry is struggling with just available resources, skilled engineers, supplies for the construction of new aircraft, and delivery dates. And Boeing are under pressure to deliver aircraft. They don't realise the revenue on their books until the aircraft is delivered to the airline. So they're taking parts in from people like Spirit Aerospace, who work on a fuselage, and they are perhaps not undertaking as many checks and are assuming that what's delivered is good to go. And that clearly isn't the case. But something has failed somewhere in that process, that quality assurance process between Spirit, Boeing, and then delivery to the airline operator. For the airline, of course, you take what you see, and whilst you check everything as much as you physically can, unless you actually take that plug out and check the bolts, you wouldn't be seeing this. You would be assuming that it is good to go because it has been signed off by the supplier as good to go. And that's another part of the challenge for Boeing, is that their credibility with the FAA, Federal Aviation Authority, who allow them to sign off these aircraft as being airworthy, is completely tarnished at the moment. They were falsifying data in the 73 MAX incidents from years ago, and now they've got this issue, and there's been others. So there's a lot of credibility at stake here for Boeing, and they've got a lot of work to do to start to repair that.